All right, back again, and I want to talk about one of the topics that kind of gets misunderstood, but it usually happens when dealing with a narcissist, and that comes in the form of where initially you start out, you feel even keel with the narcissist, but over a period of time, it becomes more like a parent-child dynamic where you start feeling like you're more of a parent dealing with the child. And so I want to discuss why and how that plays out with the narcissist, right? So in a narcissistic relationship or transaction, whether it's romantic, or if it's family, professional, a unique dynamic often emerges, right? Where one partner takes on a parental role while the narcissist individual assumes the childlike position. And this dynamic can be, totally emotionally draining. And it poses significant challenges to the stability of the relationship or whatever you're trying to build with them. And so understanding why this happens and how it develops, you know, um, and the likely outcomes of it is going to, really help you in a lot of ways in understanding it. So when we ask why do we become more like a parent in a narcissistic relationship? Well, we're dealing, for one, with an emotionally immature person, right? Narcissists lack emotional maturity and self-awareness. They might, they may, well, usually they do, display a lot of entitlement, impulsiveness, and that constant need for validation, and the that behavior is akin to those of a child. And to maintain a relationship like that, the other party feels compelled to provide that stability and reassurance and guidance, effectively taking on a parental role, right? Because this is where a lot of you get involved and come into the mindset of feeling sorry for them, right? Your parental side kicks in. Or if you are the type of person who is a fixer, this will be the role that you will find yourself slipping into, right? Um People that get with narcissists are often empathetic individuals with a strong desire to nurture and fix others. If you find yourself running to narcissists a lot, you're a fixer amongst people. You're the one that people come to make things right. You're the one that knows how to adjust and modify a situation to run smoother or to be comfortable. You're that type of person. And this predisposition at least makes you susceptible to stepping into a parental role, because you're going to be believing that you can do something to help the narcissist grow or heal. You believe that what you've tried and what has worked with what you've done with others in the past and other situations will work again in this situation. But you're sadly mistaken, right? Because narcissists use this tactic, like they use it the same as like gaslighting, guilt tripping, and blame shifting, right? And they know how to use those tactics to make the partner feel responsible for that narcissist's emotions and their actions, right? So they try to foster a dynamic where you, being in the parental role, become the caretaker, and you're going to prioritize the narcissist needs over your own because you're operating in an offset role, an unorthodox role where you are more like the parent and they're the child. So yes, you're going to be doing more things to try to look out for them, help and assist them. You're going to let things slide because now you feel responsible for this person's development as though they are a child, right? So narcissists know how to use control through dependence. They know how to use a dependence to manipulate you into stepping up and doing the role of a parent or a caretaker. And narcissists will often create situations where they appear dependent on their parent for emotional regulation, decision making, or problem solving. And see, this type of dependency reinforces the parent-child like dynamic. And then you're going to run into these challenges of how to maintain this type of relationship. It's emotionally exhausting because you're constantly managing the narcissist's emotions and validating their self-worth and handling their crisis and all these things, which is emotionally draining. And if you're in that role, you're going to feel depleted and neglected yourself. This is where a lot of your frustrations comes in when you're dealing with this type of dynamic with the narcissist. Because there's going to be a heavy lack of reciprocity. In these situations, the narcissists focus on their needs and it leaves very little room for mutual care. You, as in the parent role, you'll often sacrifice your own well-being without receiving their support in return. It leads to stagnation and resentment because the partner's effort to encourage or change the narcissist, this is your effort, right? To encourage or to you're encouraging them to grow or you're pushing for them to change, right? You're pushing for this because you want to be able to get your just due and what you're investing into them. And these things are often met with resistance or sabotage. This is why narcissists deliberately, if they're doing good, they're going to deliberately start messing up. They're going to deliberately do something to throw off the progress that y'all were making, right? Because it's manipulation through dependency. They want to stay in a dependent role, they want to create the dependent nature. So this is why they purposely, a lot of these things where you see like, dang, we were doing so good and I thought you had it made. I got you this. I got you on at this place. I got you on as this job. And everything goes wrong. Yes. Because success, if they show that they can be successful and efficient with you, it starts to remove the training wheels of the parental role that you're playing with them. And they can easily be now held accountable to produce for you in the same way. They don't want that type of dynamic. So what they'll do is purposely sabotage any type of growth or progress, even within the relationship or the situation y'all dealing with. This is why you constantly feel like you're going around in circles. All right. This is another reason why narcissists like to isolate you from external support systems, because that's going to further deepen the dependency, and making it harder for, you, quote unquote, in the parent role to step away. And so, why is this such a go to, with narcissists? Well, you have to look at other factors like attachment theory. Narcissists often have insecure attachment styles stemming from their early childhoods, right? Neglect or overindulgence. They seek relationships that mirror these early experiences, creating an unconscious repetition of their childhood dynamic. You also get the power imbalance. And by positioning you as a caretaker, narcissists can maintain control over the relationship. And this dynamic ensures the focus remains on their needs, reinforcing their sense of superiority. Because if you're constantly focused on tending to them and making sure they're good, they stay in position of control because they know that they're doing all of this stuff on purpose to keep you operating in the way that they want you to operate, that best serves their objectives. Another big thing is that fear of vulnerability with narcissists. Narcissists, they struggle heavily with vulnerability and intimacy. And if they assume a childlike role, this allows them to avoid accountability while still receiving attention and care. Because you're going to be thinking, oh, they don't really know. They're just so lost. I feel sorry for them. Now they're doing this shit on purpose. And even like with codependent people are that's with narcissists, they find fulfillment in being needed. There's some people that really get a high off of being needed. And if you're that type of person, you're going to fall right into this trap, into this dynamic. But ultimately, the inevitable outcome, the burnout of the parental person, you're going to get burned out. You're going to have prolonged emotional drainage and strain on your emotions. You're going to increasingly, become disillusioned. The relationship or whatever you're trying to build it's going to become unsustainable because the narcissist is going to refuse to change. And then you're going to start growing resentment of your own towards them. And this all creates a toxic environment. The inevitable, in most cases, it's going to lead to separation. Even if the situation, relationship, transaction persists, it often devolves into, devolves into mutual dissatisfaction and dysfunction. Right? The parent-child dynamic in narcissistic relationships arises from a combination of emotional immaturity, manipulative behavior, and the partner's or your caregiving tendencies. That's how this comes into play. So it's like understanding that you have to stop taking on the role as being a fixer. You can't do it. There's so many areas that lead to where these type of individuals can exploit and manipulate. And if you're a fixer or if you take great pleasure in feeling needed, you will be exploited by a narcissist. Anyway, thank you for listening to the message. If you feel that this message helped you in any way, please consider to like the video, share, and subscribe. Any consultation requests, just shoot me an email. My email link is in the description box. Until next time, take care of yourselves and have a good one.